Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys and girls are subscribed to the Gloves Off podcast with me and Bullet RC. We go live each and every Thursday. Make sure you guys and girls pull up, but we also drop clips of those lives throughout the week. So if you missed it and want to catch certain clips, go check it out and go and subscribe, man. We're going to be making that thing popping, panties dropping non-stop. Jordan 1s, for the most part, have been kind of getting stale, oversaturated, multiple colorways, and they've been hitting, you know, pretty much sales racks, also being discounted at very, very high rates. Now, from a consumer's aspect, that means that they're available for you guys and girls out there. It also means that you can get your hands on them at a better price than going and buying it from a reseller. So I have nothing to complain about. However, I just want to state that I think that July is going to be a very, very big month for the Jordan 1 due to 2 releases. One of them we got in hand right now early, and that is the Jordan 1 Low UNC to Chicago. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Make sure you hit that bell so that you are always tuned in. And today, guys, we have I got 'em early on the upcoming Jordan 1 Low UNC to Chicago. Now, these are set to release supposedly July 26th for a retail price point of $140. Now, if you've been doing sneakers or post-COVID, you've been around for a little bit of time now, these shoes should look a little familiar to you. If you're new, well, the reason why they're familiar to some of us is because they dropped a high top version of this shoe back in 2020, February 13th, and for the most part, they did very, very well. Retail at that time was $170. They sold out. They were a women's exclusive, but they still did their thing. They did the Thug Thizzle. I want to say February 13th, that time would have probably been All-Star Weekend, and I even had a pair. I did a review on that pair, and it's on this channel if you want to look it up. Now, fast forwarding 3 years later, it doesn't even feel like 3 years, bro. It feels crazy, but we got this low top version of the shoe, and can I be honest, the material on this shoe, man, straight Punjani, okay? Straight. It's like a fucking, like that ad, girl. You feel me? Look, man, nah, for real. The leather on this shoe is like a chimpanzee's ass scraped to the bare meat, slit open with a little bit of sprinkle of butter, saturated with the Georgia weather and that mud clay, baked, flipped on both sides, put in a little pizza oven and get a little bit of that crisp, and then you scrape off that top crisp, and you got that nice, this shiny chimpanzee leather right there, bro. Look at, just check it out. Look, the leather on this is A1 steak sauce. The previous Jordan 1 leather of this, the UNC, it was definitely good. But this one is different. I'm gonna be honest, this is definitely different. If I could get some clips of my previous review of it, you will see that it was a little bit more tumbled. This one is way less tumbled when it comes to the leather on this shoe. The previous one, as I stated, the black was extremely tumbled around. I wanna say even the red was tumbled. The clips will show you what I mean there. It seems as if they changed the tumbledness out for a more smoother leather that I'm not really mad about whatsoever. I mean, it's a very, very smooth leather. You can even tell because it's a little bit more shiny, but it's not too shiny because I hate shiny leather that's smooth. It almost gives like that pleather plastic type of look to it. It definitely is though way more smoother, and you can even see that this has some slight tumbled on here, but it's not as tumbled as the one that released before. These are, once again, women exclusive. Now, as far as extended sizes, I'm gonna double check on that one for you. This is a size 10.5, which is equivalent to a size 9 in men, but extended sizes usually goes up to a women's 14, I believe, and I'm not too sure 100% on if this will be that or not. I did own the original one. I got rid of it, not because I had an issue with it, I just didn't wear it. And I feel like for the same reasoning, this might be a shoe that I'm gonna pass on as well. Definitely give you guys a review, give you my thoughts. There's nothing really negative off the rip to even say about this shoe right now, but I've owned the previous one and I got rid of it. I think I'll just end up doing the same exact thing. And I'm gonna be honest though, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm looking at the shoe and it looks, I mean, that's one thing I was gonna talk about, even on the back of this. I'm gonna say this for the review, bro. There's definitely a lot of inconsistencies on this pair, and it's a retail pair. If you don't know, hey, check it. If you don't know by now where I get these shoes from, I'm sorry, I can't help you, okay? But if you do know, you understand. Like, everything here is always legit, 100% legit, okay? If you don't understand it, if you don't get it by now, I just can't goddamn help you. You want to be stupid. It's up to you. But let me also give you guys legitimate reasonings of what the inconsistencies for these legit pairs can be. One thing though, as I stated earlier about the leather, right? This pair is smooth. The previous pair was tumbled. The Jordan 3 white cements that dropped, one elephant print was darker, the other one was lighter. So maybe this particular pair might be way more smoother than a next pair that someone else may get or something like that. There's definitely inconsistencies when it's coming to a lot of these Jordans recently down the pipeline. It just is what it is. But looking at the shoe right now, this is crazy. You feel me? And this is a size 9, right? So when I get the actual review for you guys and girls later, I'm gonna get the shoe in my size, an 8.5. So you will see a different shoe when it comes to the review, because I don't want a 9. Like ones are already kind of big. So I'm gonna get an 8.5, more than likely tomorrow, to give you guys a review on it. But check it out, look, check out the back, right? There is a widow's peak. Widow's peak does not always mean that it's not legit. Keep that in mind. But peep that, look at the print. You see how the print is? It's nice. It's pretty centered. Look at this print. It's off to the side, bro. It's not even in the middle. Quality control on this, not good whatsoever, bro. Not good whatsoever. Another thing I saw on this shoe also is the outsoles, of course. One is blue and the other one is red. You have the Nike Air on there. Nike Air on the tongues as well. Red toe. You have red outsole as well. And you have a red extra set of laces. I believe that they did come with an extra set of red laces back then in 2020. Back then also though, those extra set of laces were in a bag. Now they've moved over to the box for the move to 0. I think this all has to do with just the recyclability. You know, it's easier to reuse. This is probably reused carbon boxes that they use from, basically this box is easier to remanufacture than a plastic baggie. So they're just moving to 0 to make their product more efficient all the way possible and cheaper for them as well. You also have this Nike Air tag, which in my opinion is way less tumbled than the previous pair as well, and smoother. Like I said, it's not as tumbled. It feels pretty much the same thickness. And I'm wondering, now that they do this move to 0, are we gonna see more and more less leather shoes? Are we gonna start seeing more vegan shoes or pleather shoes, so that one, it's cheaper for Nike to make, and two, they can say that we're, you know, helping, not slaughtering animals. Like, there's definitely some finesse in that. And hey, salutes to Nike for not doing that. I mean, I'm all for, you know, animals. I love animals, and less leather, less killing, but you know, the marketing is always sometimes a finesse. Like, we're trying to do this to help animals, but it's also saving some money in our pockets. And I'll also say though, just because this leather feels extremely well doesn't necessarily mean that it's legit leather. However, Nike has been known to usually put that they are using synthetic materials when they're using synthetic leathers. For instance, the foam pods that we recently did on the insole, it said synthetic materials are being used on this shoe. On this one in particular, I don't see no sign of that whatsoever. So, you know, I'll just take it that it's a leather, at least for right now. I mean, Nike's been pretty transparent when it comes to that, but for this part, I really don't see that happening. I think that these will sell out. The Jordan 1 Low elephant print, for the most part, it sold out. It did better than the high top. It sold out in the more popular sizes. Maybe there's a couple 3 or 4s or whatever, but for the most part, the big pairs and the pairs that mattered, that had the most quantity, the elephant print low did fairly well. There might be even some sitting on Nike, I don't even know. But I know from seeing other stores out there, the amount of sizes that were left over, there were pairs that sold completely out. Compared to that one high, in my opinion, that might have been the worst shoe. That in that Skyline or whatever it was called, I feel like they did the worst as far as this, how people gravitated toward it, how well they sold and all that. And now they're even sitting for sale prices on various websites out there. Even the Heirloom did fairly bad in my opinion. But I think that these and the UNC toes, they're gonna do very, very well. That's just my opinion. I think that at least. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm gonna go for these being sold out because the high top version sold out. It's a low top version. We've seen the low tops do fairly well, even do better than some highs. I'm gonna go for that. These will be a little bit more of an issue and a problem. However, right now, getting shoes is easier than ever. So don't take me saying they sold out as the 100% all truth. Take it for a grain of salt. As far as the box go, because I forgot to mention that, we have here size 10.5. This is a size 9, black/dark powder blue gem red, 10.5 women's Air Jordan 1 Low OG on the box. They do come like extra paper. I even forgot. They came wrapped up individually, so they're gonna come like wrapped up like a blunt. Each of them came wrapped up like a blunt, so you can smoke them and shit if you want to do that. But yeah, the Jordan 1 Low UNC to Chicago. Stay tuned. We'll do a full-on in-depth review on them, and you know, give you some more information as far as sizing and all that as it goes. But to each his own, man. Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below. I love y'all. I'm out.